What's going on, guys? Killer6 back with another episode of This Gun F***ing Sucks, and today we're going to take a look at the Cocky Bastard. Now this is another DLC 2 sniper, much like the Skullmasher, but unlike the Skullmasher, this gun f***ing sucks. I have tried to make this thing good. You can make it viable by using a revolter shield, but I mean, you can kind of do that with basically any weapon, and that's kind of the joy of the revolter, is you can make all weapons viable and have some fun with them. So let's run forward here. We're on normal Mala 1 takedown, and as you can see, let's do a headshot. So here, let me explain something real quick. First and foremost, the special ability of the Cocky Bastard is that critical hits deal plus 150% bonus shock damage. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but we hit a crit and we didn't take this guy's shield out all the way. So what's the point of the 150% crit damage if one shot from this thing doesn't take it all the way out on his shield? This is just a trash mob guy. So this is how many shots it takes to kill this guy with crits. Let's go ahead and I'll tell you what, let's give a copy of this to the clone. Let's see what he can do with it. He doesn't even want to shoot it. I don't think he even wants to shoot the thing, to be honest with you guys. So again, this thing drops exactly from the same source as the Skullmasher does. Ice to the Invincible. That's the exact same drop for this one as the Skullmasher. And unfortunately, unlike the Skullmasher, this one is just not really worth having. You can kill things with it. Like I said, it does take way more shots than it needs to. And that is kind of the problem here. When you're doing sniping, I feel like in general, snipers across the board in Borderlands 3, other than, I mean, there's some exceptions. Obviously the Skullmasher, the Complex Root, the Boogeyman, those are all good options. But all the other ones, including one of my favorites, the Unseen Threat, they just feel very subpar now. You know, it feels like ever since Mayhem 2.0 came out, sniper rifles in Borderlands 3 have largely felt very ineffective. So I would love to see just an across the board change to sniper rifles, to be honest. So yeah, as you can see, when we start chaining together kills and stuff, we can make a little bit of damage happen, but by and large, this thing is just very disappointing, especially for a Jacobs sniper rifle, because you know what they say, if it took more than one shot, you weren't using a Jacobs, and most of these guys are taking me 3 or 4 shots to kill. And it's not exactly like they're the world's most difficult enemies. So like I said, the main special ability of this gun is that it will do 150% shock damage on crits. The problem is if you encounter any kind of enemies that don't have crits, then obviously that becomes an issue. But here we are shooting crits in the back of this guy, and it just feels very disappointing, especially when the Skullmasher, you just like 3-tap and this guy's dead, even though there's no element at all on your Skullmasher. So very disappointing this gun is. This gun has never had any buffs or nerfs. There are no elements that you can get on this thing because it's Jacobs. Just that crit damage, 150% shock. That's the only elemental damage you can get on this thing. It cannot roll with any kind of splash damage anointments, so don't even try to do that. Obviously, the best character for this thing's probably still going to be Flak, just because you can crit on body shots with Flak if you're using Megavore. That said, I don't feel like this thing's great on any character. What would I do to fix this thing? I would actually give this thing the Revolter treatment. You look at the Revolter, and this thing does like that massive amount of shock damage. I mean, if you're going to give this gun that kind of gimmick and make this thing drop from a quote-unquote invincible boss in the game, then make that crit shock damage 300% or something like that. Make it so that when you hit a shielded enemy, that shield is definitely gone. That gives this thing a little bit more viability. That said, I would also maybe give it the option to roll with a ×2 or a ×5 pellet, possibly something like that. That might be a bit too much. I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I feel like this gun does need buffs, but I feel like most snipers in general need buffs, so that's not really saying much. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of This Gun F***ing Sucks. If you did, let me know what other guns you guys would like to see on this series, and I will get to those as quick as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.